played
I'm
fine.
so glad he mentioned that the doctor had more pounds. Thank you guys for having me. You always have an opportunity to go places when you reach a certain level in the game that I played for so long and enjoyed. But I was so inspired this morning, and had the opportunity to hear some sales pitches from some tremendous people, and gained a different type of respect for our men and women that serve this country to protect us. And Dr. Tommy Caron from LSU, we do a personal branding seminar, and he told me, he said, look, you have to become a part of this EBV program because it's special when you have a heart for things like this. And I said, Doc, just tell me when and where, and I'm there. And so he called me. Dr. Caron is one of those guys where if you say you want to do something, he's not like one of those people that you'll hear from a year later, or when he sees you, he'll remind you about it. He called me like 3 days later. It's like, talk to the heads at EBV and I want you to go to Syracuse, New York. So I said, I'm there, Doc. And in this morning listening, I realized that it was so many parallels to finishing up a career in the NFL and you guys coming home and trying to reinsert yourselves into regular civilian life. And what was interesting to me was that we all have a sense of we don't know. We don't know how to go about things. And I remember being in the personal branding seminar with Dr. Caron, and I said, Doc, I've never had to write a resume. I just went and worked out for the team, and they told me I was good. So what do I put on this sheet of paper called a resume to make a company like me, or to make someone hire me and have enough confidence that I'll do a great job? And I was at home and I was thinking, I was coming to Syracuse and I wanted to be so professional, and I wrote a speech for the first time. And I was like, this is gonna give it. I said, if no one cries when I'm done, I didn't do the job I was sent to do. And so I'm gonna read a little bit of what I wrote and what I felt was a great comparison to you guys and what we do in the NFL. The end is really the beginning. There's a notion that you fade away after you're done doing what others think you have been called to do. And although you may feel that way yourself, there is so much more to contribute to this great big world. You have been knowing and needing to find that thing that defines you to you. I faced that dilemma about my 7th year in the NFL. I always felt like there was more for me, but the feeling just kept creeping into my thoughts and dreams, and it made it hard for me to focus on what I thought I was called to do. Now, I know you all like this guy is nuts. Making money that most people never have a chance to make. And I agree, at times I thought I was out of my mind. I also felt like God would punish me for not taking advantage of the opportunity and the blessing that he had given me. I just always felt like it was more. Not more money or fame. I felt it was more for me to do to help promote humanity. Simply find my purpose. That's what we're here to do. That's what these business pitches, these ideas, the heart that you have, what you're trying to push forward into this great land, is just finding your purpose, seeking out who you are to yourself, proving it to you. We've been proving it to coaches and majors and captains. Now it's time to prove it to yourself who you are. So after that point, you reach a crossroad. When do you say when? When is it time to put the rifle down, or like most NFL athletes, hang the cleats up? And in no way am I comparing the game that we play on Sunday to what you guys have to sacrifice and do to make sure that we enjoy freedom that is so expensive and not free. We come to a crossroads that either we are forced out because the body has no more to give in the way it needs to, or we realize it's time to do what we really want and feel it is we're called to do. Which brings me here tonight. Because of that nagging feeling that you just can't shake, the greatness you feel that is locked inside of you wanting to come out. It's like a woman, when she is pregnant, it is visible. And everyone is encouraging to her in that way that they know she carries a gift of life. Well, when you have a feeling of needing to get out what you have inside of you and form an idea into a business and a way to live out what you feel you have the capabilities of doing, you are simply pregnant. It eventually has to come out. It's what brings us to this great program at Syracuse University. It's what's bringing you guys here tonight. Is to get out what you need to birth and to find tools and information in order to help you do so. So you can see it, touch it, and make it tangible and be something that you can say, this was created because of the purpose that's been put on my life. Now I have 3 key points that I live by, and I want to share this with you guys, and hopefully it helps. Number 1, be absolutely nuts about accomplishing what you set out to do. Because if you don't believe it, no one will. We hear that all the time, but the projection that I got from those students that presented today, they believe in what they're trying to do. And I bought in. I had retired from a 9-year career in the NFL. I got a call from my sister Deidre, and she said, Marcus, have you heard about this new ESPN SEC network that they're about to launch? And I said, yeah, because I would go back and forth with all of the guys from other conferences and argue with them time and time again about why the SEC was the best conference. So I told her, hell yeah, I know about it. And she said, that job is for you. And when I started thinking about it, I said, let me do a little research. So I went to Google and I found I wanted to know who was in control of this SEC network, who was responsible for hiring the talent and hiring the people that would carry this network. So I found on Google, which you can find everything now, a lady by the name of Stephanie Drew, Vice President of Programming and Content for ESPN, College Networks. And I sent her a tweet in a very demanding way. I said, follow me back. DM me. That's direct message for all you folks that grew up in the Ice Age. So guess what she did? That's what happened. She did. I jumped and just didn't care if I landed softly or if I fell and broke my neck. Just put it out there. She followed back and the direct message came through. And we talked for a while about what it would take to be a television analyst. And I had no concept. And the first thing she told me is, you don't know anything about television. We're hiring you because we think you have potential. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking ESPN has just made the biggest mistake hiring me, no television experience, just entering into what I thought was regular life as a civilian. So step 1, had to jump and not care what happened. 2, find a Steve, a Lola, and a Jamar. What am I talking about? Steve, stand up. Jamar, stand up. Team. Robin Big may come to mind when you see Steve. If you guys are familiar with the reality show. And the things that needed to be implemented for myself in order for me to have success. The team. I heard this preached by Bill Parcells, Nick Saban, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, some of the greatest coaches and minds in NFL football. Find people that are better than you in certain areas so they can make you better. Admitting that you don't know is a true humility and virtue that you all need to have in order to be successful. When someone asks me a question that I don't know, I say I don't know. I don't try to prolong the conversation to sound like a smart guy. I go find someone with the answer and then I come back. You can't be so big and caught up in yourself to not recognize that you need help to see your vision through. Surround yourself with good-hearted and genuine people, and also people that will tell you no. Now that's a hard thing for an NFL football player, because we want everybody to tell us yes. And we're used to everybody telling us yes. Which brings me to Lola, who's not here, but she handles all of my affairs, the accountability person. That you have to be great and you should always have someone around to remind you that you must always be present in the moment, because your business success depends on it. Always being present about what the end goal is. You also always have a Jamar. That friend who will be there with you, who will fight with you, will have time, you will have the time of your life, but they always will be honest about how they see you. Find truth in your closest friends and colleagues and family so you can trust that they just don't say things to make you happy, but to make you better. Find a Steve and a Lola and a Jamar. It'll save you a lot of headaches. Step 3 for me is the most important thing in this whole speech, and that's family. This brings me to what I think is the most important component to a successful person. The love of someone that's unconditional. It doesn't hinge on who you are or what you've done. And that brings me to my wife, Aisha, my rock and my world. My 3 kids, who I enjoy life, who have instilled an unsurmountable amount of love into my life. My daughter, Makaria, who's 8, who enjoys Chipotle, and she makes it free. I have a son that's 6 years old, Marcus Jr. He loves monster trucks, so we go to Monster Jam. And he's a really good baseball player, a lefty. My wife is 6'1". I'm hoping he goes to the major league. He's my 401k. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, my 2-year-old Nico, who's the true boss of the family, and will not let anyone sleep until she's tucked away in a Doc McStuffins blanket, and she has to go to sleep first before everybody else does. This is who I lean on. I ask them for true opinions and observations. The one thing about kids is that they never lie. Walked in the house one day after I retired, it was about a year, and my 8-year-old was fortunate enough to see a lot of my football games. She said, "Dad, you fat and you need to lose some weight." My friend, y'all tell me I was growing up inside. My 7-year-old at the time just told me I need to lose some weight. And I said, "Okay, babe, we'll start losing weight." And for months and months after that, "Dad, did you go to the gym today? Did you work out today? Are you eating right?" So she was in school and learning about the colors of your plate. And your plate is supposed to look a certain way. So she would come up to my plate at home. We have family dinner every night. When I'm there, she would say, "Dad, it's not enough colors on that plate." And I would always think my mom was putting it up to her, but they just are truthful and they are honest. As I close, I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best because you deserve it. You deserve it from me. You deserve it from everyone that you defend in order for us to be able to do what we do on a daily basis. And not for us to get caught up in the fact that you've come home to people that live a regular, average life and don't understand what you go through. Talk to us. Help us understand what you go through. Help us understand what you're trying to do. EBV has given you a great opportunity. And the understanding of coming into regular life was so parallel to me playing in the NFL that it was unbelievable the things that I heard today. Because you do fight against, well, what do I do now? Is this my true purpose? Was playing in the NFL or was serving my country my true purpose? Or is it something else in me? Is it something nagging me every night and keeping me up and explaining to myself that it's something else that I'm supposed to do in order to promote humanity? And living a life of service as you have displayed and have done to the highest level that any of us could ever think of. This is your moment and your opportunity. Everybody has a responsibility to do something great to promote someone else to be better. Well, you guys do it for a nation. And it's a different level of respect that deserves. And that's why I came from Dallas, Texas, just to tell you that when you take part in situations like this in programs and when you walk out here in regular civilian life and in the street, hold your head up high. You deserve so much more than we ever could deserve in this lifetime because what we do hinges on you sacrificing yourself and giving to a cause and a purpose that's bigger than you. And for me to say that I understand that as a football player is such a small way and a small portion for me to understand when you go thousands of miles away from home to make sure that when I come home and I flip my light switch that it can come on. Or when I hop in my car and I drive and when I stop at a gas station and I feel safe because you're over there sacrificing everything that you've been brought up and taught to do to make sure that I can live in this great land and be who I am, and all of us in this room are in a debt of gratitude to you. And I love the fact that these teachers and professors in this great university has given you an opportunity to just tell you to hold your head up high. Your business ventures will be successful because the things that you attain, the things that you've done, the wars that you've seen, the brothers that you've lost, are all here for you to come back and tell their stories and propel yourself to be the greatest that you could ever be to you. Not to your country, not to me, not to anyone that's promoting you, but to you. And that's why we believe in it. That's why we promote and we love the fact that you guys come here and you listen and you take class and you move us to tears with talks and stories about what you've done and what you've seen. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here. If there's anything that I can do to help you go further, please don't be afraid to ask. And I'm willing. And I know a few people that may be willing and will help you get to where you need to be. Unleash your truth. Purpose to become and do what you have truly been called to do. God bless you all. A million thank yous for what you have sacrificed. So that every man and woman in this room that didn't go overseas to fight for this country could land soft. Thank you.